Hey, welcome back to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, and trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so you can easily choose the best watch for yourself in the comfort of your own home. We offer the lowest prices anywhere online, and if you'd like to know the price, simply click on the links in the description below. We greatly appreciate if you purchase your next watch from us at JazzTime.com. Today we'll be talking about an Oyster Perpetual from Rolex. This one, a Oyster Perpetual 36. We'll be talking about the case, dial, bezel, the crown functions, the movement, as well as the bracelet. This one is an Oyster Perpetual 36 with a bright black dial, as they call it, index hour marks, Oyster bracelet, and a smooth domed bezel. We'll be going over all of those features. All right, so starting off with this case, we have a 36mm case. That's from finger to thumb, the 2 o'clock to 8 o'clock position, or the 10 to 4 position. Same distance, same size, 36mm. You have the monoblock middle case with the screw down case back and the Rolex winding crown to ensure waterproofness down to 100 meters or 330 feet below sea level. On the front, you have a completely flat sapphire crystal to maintain that scratch resistance of that glass on the front. Well, it's actually a mineral, a crystal, literally, so that it maintains that clear view of that dial. All right. Anyway, the full construction of this entire watch is entirely in stainless steel. As you can see, high polish along the sides, satin brush finishing on the front of this case, as evident on these lugs, right? And nice high polish along sides again, and satin brush finishing underneath these lugs gives a very nice, a nice, luxurious, and smooth feel on the wrist. Subtle, but it's there. On the front of this case, a matching stainless steel domed bezel gives it a very interesting look, very distinct as well, as it gives it a very like an extra sense of glowing when it comes to I guess the way that it reflects the environment. It sort of it separates the dial from the case a little bit better. All right, and especially with this dial, incredibly easy to see. It's what they call a bright black dial. It has a sunray finishing, almost like a sunburst effect. It's very subtle, very elegant as well. All right. Looking at the hour markers on here, you have index hour markers, 18 karat gold, white gold applied index markers with chromolite display on those. You also have chaptering on the peripheral of this dial with a bold square for those 5-minute marks, or for every hour. And turning out the lights here, you can see how easy it is to see with that chromolite display. It gives a very nice blue tint to the hour marks as well as the minute and hour hands, so it's very easy to read at night. No need to apply the chromolite to that seconds hand because, well, you're only really going to be telling the hours and minutes. A little bit harder to tell someone the exact number of seconds, and if you need the exact number of seconds, well, use a chronograph. Anyway, you have the double index markers for the 3, 6, and 9 positions. Let me turn on the lights here so it's a little bit easier to see. And please focus, there we go. So, double index markers for 3, 6, and 9 to give it a very good sense of balance. Gives it a very symmetrical, both vertical and horizontal sense of balance, as the double index markers at the 6 balance out the Rolex crown at the 9, the 3 and 9 give it that horizontal sense of balance. So overall, the unity, the overall composition here, absolutely beautiful when it comes to just the overall design. It's just beautiful. I really like it. Very elegant, subtle, but I like it. Now, looking at the crown functions, it's, well, what you would expect. There's not much functionality here. You can simply wind the watch at by unscrewing the crown, and at the first position, about 20 to 30 full winds is all you really need to get to the full power reserve if you are at a dead stop, right? And simply pull the crown out to the only other position. You can then stop that seconds hand, giving you that hacking function, so you can then place the minute hand precisely wherever it needs to go based on that chaptering at the peripheral of the dial. Wait for an atomic clock to roll around and synchronize it, press the crown back in to start that seconds hand once more. Screw in the crown to ensure that superior water resistance. All right, so what makes this work is the in-house made caliber 3230 from Rolex themselves. You can't see through the case back because you have that added extra bit of security, so you have that stainless steel to keep it nice and protected. It has a plus or minus 2 second per day time differential after casing, giving it that superlative chronometer certification as printed on the dial. Every Rolex dial has that printing, at least all the modern ones at least. So you know that you are keeping nice and as close to perfect time as you possibly can, as is Rolex standard. You have the center hour, minute, and seconds hands, as well as the stop seconds for precise time setting, all of which I just demonstrated. The oscillator on the inside is a paramagnetic blue parachrome hairspring with high performance Paraflex shock absorbers. So what that means is that you can take a few bumps here and there, you can get relatively close to magnets or magnetized surfaces like your refrigerator, for example, and there'll be no fear of losing time or gaining unnecessary seconds. It'll be keeping track of time just fine. No need to worry about that. You also have a bidirectional winding rotor on the inside, so simply winding the watch to its full capacity, keeping it on your wrist will keep it wound using your natural wrist movements. The rotor just sort of rotates around that center, keeps that mainspring charged all the way up to an approximate 70 hours of power reserve. That means you can set this down on a Friday evening, pick it back up on a Monday morning, ready to conduct business, and you'll be good to go. No need to wind the watch at all. All right, so taking a look at the framing of this watch, you have the Oyster Bracelet 3-piece links across. A little hard to differentiate, you know, the pieces here because they are all satin finished, but these are basically singular pieces when you look at them. But if you look at them very closely, 3 pieces across, 2 on the outside with 1 sort of intermediate link adding onto sort of that pattern that allows it to connect to the next link. As you can see, plenty of spacing among these links to give it plenty of breathability on the wrist. You have the Rolex folding clasp with the logo, the crown logo, stamped in there nicely and elegantly. Lift the top to open it, nice and easy. You have the Rolex stamped seal on the inside, and you know that you're dealing with steel. Now, the added benefit of the Rolex folding clasp is that you have the Easy Link 5mm extension. So underneath, you can simply pull it out to get an extra half oyster link. Now, why would you do this? It's if you happen to walk outside, it's extremely hot and your wrist swells up. Maybe you just pounded 3 liters of water. Do keep hydrated. It's very good for you. Water's good for you. And if your wrist happens to swell, you can just reach under here, pull it out, and you have a little bit extra space for your wrist to breathe so that you can then continue to wear this so you don't have to take it off your wrist and just carry it in your hand somewhere, throw it in your pocket. You can keep it on your wrist, and when you no longer need it, just simply fold it back in on itself, press it back into the clasp, and there you go. Nice and easy. While we're here, I can also try it on and give you my thoughts as to how it wears on the wrist. Now, keep in mind, my wrist is 7 inches in circumference or 18 centimeters, and lo and behold, 36 millimeters, my favorite measurement for any Rolex watch. It's the perfect measurement for me, at least, the sweet spot, allowing you to get the nice framing from the 12 and 6 o'clock sides for that bracelet to give you a nice sense of this watch with that dial. The dial's not too big, and the case is not too big to over-encumber my wrist, and it's nice and readable, extremely easy to read, especially with this black dial. Very, very easy to read, and with that subtle sunray finishing, gives it that little subtle bit of elegance that if anyone else were to look at this and they were to notice that, wow, that's attention to detail, certainly. And taking a look at it down the wrist, plenty of space underneath the lugs if you have a smaller wrist. If you have a wrist like mine, 7 inches, it'll rest nicely and perfectly on top. Wrist larger than mine, certainly that will be fine as well. It will sit nice and flat on the wrist. It won't dig into your wrist, in other words. All right. And basically, when it comes to the wearing experience, extremely easy. Not too heavy, but still noticeable on the wrist because, you know, this is all stainless steel construction. You got to keep the movement somewhere. So it's all good. You know that you're wearing a Rolex when you have this on your wrist. All right, so that's enough for me. That's all I've got for you. Let us know what you think about this watch down in the description below. This Oyster Perpetual 36 with a bright black dial, index hour markers, Oyster style bracelet with the stainless steel domed bezel, reference number 126000. Let us know what you think down in the comments below. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell notification so you can be notified when we go live with another video like this one. And as always, if you'd like to purchase this watch or any other watch, visit our store at jazztime.com. Links in the description below where you can get it for the lowest online price anywhere. Well, anywhere online at least. All right, and We'll see you in the next video. Take care.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to model as seen in video, click on it and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.